What's going on, everybody? Over here at the house today, hanging out, not doing much of nothing. Just thought I'd get on here and share with y'all what the big news was about. And there it is, right there. There's the news, guys. She's a 2021 389 stand-up sleeper. We've spec'd this one out. Well, I didn't spec it out, I bought it off the lot, but it is spec'd out to be a little bit lighter than mine. With it has more fuel capacity. It's got this 150 on this side, so it carries about 20 more gallons of fuel, plus the tri-pack. It is actually still 300 pounds lighter than the red one, and it's kind of sitting down already. It's been sitting here about, well, since I parked it the other day. Here, let me go ahead and I'm gonna fire it up and build some air so y'all let it air up and y'all can see what it looks like air it up good. Okay, door stops are brand spanking new, so you got to kind of push against them a little bit, not like a little girl. So yesterday, my friend and I installed that CB radio right there. It's just an old, it's an old Connex I had laying around out back. So in here, we've got the wood grain dash. I had them put that in. It's got wood grain door inserts. It's got these stock Peterbilt National seats, rubber in the front, carpet in the back. I don't know, let me turn on my sleeper light. Carpet in the back, stand-up sleeper. It's got an ice box up there. Thermo King controls are back there on the panel. Hang on, we'll get back there. Let me kick off my shoes. We'll get back there and show that. Okay, there's the Thermo King controls right there. It's on standby right now to monitor the batteries. So, all right, so let's fire her up, get her aired up a little bit. There's little Sally over there. Let's watch, let's see if she'll skedaddle. Normally she doesn't like the truck. She'll run up on the porch. All right, let's see here. All right, guys, we're gonna give her a minute to air up. We'll get back with you here shortly. And we're back. Took like 10 seconds. Probably shouldn't even cut off the camera. Hang on. I gotta get my shoes back on. Can't be climbing in the sleeper with the shoes on. Okay. Let's go roll the hood over and check out the motor. After we get another look at the truck. Okay, that's much better. Hey Sally, what are you doing? You being crazy? You running around like a crazy puppy? Oh goodness. Okay, so now we got it all aired up, sleeper setting back level, all that jazz. Looks a lot better. So we had them put on tall fifth wheel stands. I've got 4 inches on that red one. This one's got 3 inches on it because the 4s are a little bit too tall, especially running a 24.5 low pros. Am I recording even? Yes, I am. 24.5, especially running 24.5 low pros. So this one's got 22.5 low pros, Bridgestones all the way around. And if you can, I'll go show you my other fifth wheel plate, but this fifth wheel plate's a little bit lighter than that one. It's a little bit smaller, so it's gonna be a little lighter. Mine's the FW35. It's a little bigger plate. See there, it's larger, noticeably larger than this other Holland fifth wheel. And then 3-inch legs. So that way it shouldn't be so tall that it's inconvenient to hook up to the trailers. This one does not have step boxes on it. I guess because it's a shorter wheelbase. It's a 270 wheelbase. So this one's kind of spec'd down a little bit. This This orange one or copper colored one, or they call it golden amber. I don't know if it's showing up real well on the camera, but it's about the color of a new penny to me. That's kind of what it looks like. It's kind of copper colored. They did put these amber colored lights and red lights back here behind the sleeper, or excuse me, the breather, and I do like that a whole lot better than the clear ones that are on the red truck. I just like them being the color that they're supposed to be instead of clear. I'm not really a big fan of the clear. And then we got 5 roof lights up top, and they're the old style ones with the amber lenses and the, I forget what they call them. I think bus lights or something. I can't really swear to it, but it's got the amber lights. These breathers aren't the big 19-inch ones, they're a little bit smaller. But it looks like we're about to get some rain, so I wanted to get out here and get this thing knocked out before it started raining, and the doggone thing even ended up looking even worse than it already does, because it's not very clean right now. So let's get this hood rolled over. Alrighty. This truck has the X15 Efficiency Series in it, 500 horse, 1850 torque, and the way you can tell is the Efficiency Series will have a silver background and black lettering, and like my truck, the Performance Series has a black background with silver lettering. So 500 horse, 1850 torque, does not have the remote lube. It's just a regular old spring ride front end. So this one's quite a bit optioned down from mine. It doesn't have near the cool guy stuff that the red one has, and but it's still, in my opinion, a very sharp truck. Still really pretty. I like that stock visor on it, honestly. I'm not a big fan of these big drop downs. I'm more of I like the RLK visors or the Midwest visors personally myself. I think the skinnier visor looks a little better. Gives it more of kind of a old school look in my humble opinion, and I much prefer that to, you know, some of the newer stuff they got going on these days. These visors cover up 3/4 of the doggone windshield. I don't think that's very becoming of the truck. So it's got an 18-speed transmission. It's got 325 gears. This one has 336s, but this one's got 24.5 low pros. It's 22.5 low pros, so they gear out about the same, running 70 miles an hour. They're running about a little over, just tick over 1,400. So I bought it, same dealer, same salesman, all that stuff. Went up there day before yesterday and picked it up. This one's gonna have a driver in it. This one right here, the stand-up. It's gonna have a driver. I'm gonna continue driving that old red jalopy. Yeah, that's it. Same suspension, shorter wheelbase. This is only a 270 wheelbase. This copper colored one is only a 270. So, but all in all, I think it's a very attractive looking truck. Let's see. See here, Peterbilt has updated this part, or PACCAR, I guess, probably. So, yeah, it says PACCAR right there, so I imagine it's the PACCAR thing. PACCAR's updated this part right here. And so that's good. So hopefully because that's one of the things that happened when I first bought my truck. And it's great. It drives well. I drove it to town once on Saturday, which was yesterday, and I was going to get the stacks cut down and get it greased and get it inspected, so we can go ahead and register it and everything. But the machine shop was busy that day, so they couldn't cut the stacks down for me, so I just brought it home. I didn't want to get some of it done and then, you know, take it up there again. I figured I'd just take it up there and get everything done all at once, and it'll be all, you know, all squashed and everything. So the payments on this one are considerably less, not because I paid less for the truck. It's because I put more money down than I did on the red one. This one's stickered for $160. Just the way it sat, which was no wood grain dash, and it had quarter fenders on it, 2-inch fifth wheel legs, and no APU. So I had them put the 3-inch legs, the half fenders, the APU, and the wood grain dash, and that upped the price a little bit. I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's not a secret. This truck here, I paid 175. I want to say 175, 438, something like that. 175, 400 and some change. So, and that, you know, 15,000 of that was just sticking on more stuff. You know, I wanted the wood grain dash. I wanted the APU, and I wanted the half fenders and the tall fifth wheel legs. That was all my doing. So the tall fifth wheel legs will make it easier for dropping and hooking, because that way it'll be set exactly the same as the people we haul for. Their trucks are 22.5 low pros with 3-inch fifth wheel legs. I went up there the other day and got the part number off the leg. So those are the same legs. And so that'll make it easier for dropping and hooking and everything like that. And yeah, this is it, guys. This is the new addition to the Phelps Trucking Company over here. Truck number 102, the copper colored stand-up. So here, we'll go inside and have one more look at the interior. So as y'all can tell, or I don't know if y'all paid much attention, but it's not as quiet as loaded out as mine. So there's no leather insert right here. There's no leather insert right here. It's all just kind of a smooth door panel, but it does have the wood grain, which I care more about that than the leather insert. And no armrest on this side of the passenger, on this side of the driver's seat, which I didn't know that before I went and picked up the truck. So these seats are not really very, I mean, they're nice, plenty comfortable. I'm just not a fan of how the Peterbilt bolts them up stock. They're too close to the steering wheel and too high in the air, in my opinion. Too close to the pedals. But that's okay, because my buddy who's a car hauler, he has the same seats as mine that I have in my truck, and he absolutely hates them. And he's going to pull them out and put Legacies in. And so I'm probably going to buy one of the seats that's identical to mine and throw it in here probably here in a couple of weeks, whenever he gets that done, and whenever I get a couple of days off to get down there where he lives. He lives about 100 miles south of me. So anyway, so we got wood grain dash, still plastic switches, haven't put any chrome in it yet. Plastic little knobs here and everything. Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's it, guys. And it's got a full, you know, stand-up sleeper. And I forgot to turn that bunk light off before I got out a minute ago. It's got the stand-up sleeper. Looks like it's got gray interior as far as mine's got tan. So it is a little different than mine. It's not quite as optioned out. But I'm hoping that this truck will do a little better on fuel. I know a guy who has Efficiency Series engines, and he's running about, I think, 0.4 miles to the gallon better than I am. And he runs over harsher terrain and does less deadhead than I do, hauling the same stuff. But so I'm hoping that, you know, that the running the flatter ground, my hopes are set on 6.4, but we'll see what the numbers actually tell us over the coming months. So I'll be able to go in there to my ELD and get the analytics off this truck and actually look and see what it's actually doing. So anyways, we went up there and got this truck yesterday. Man, see there, that door is just stiff as hell. So you gotta like, anyways. So went up there to Tulsa, got this truck, and they weren't quite done with it when we got there. So kind of had to wait around for it a little bit, and then we drove it back home here and everything. It ran out like a top. Did pretty good bobtailing. Did about a half mile gallon better than mine, or excuse me, about a full mile to the gallon better than mine did when I bobtailed mine home, my red one. And so I'm pretty excited to see what that'll do. See if that'll make a big difference whenever we load it and everything. But we're planning on getting this truck on the road probably about the first week of August. I've got signs ordered for it. but the lady never did text me back with proofs for my signs and everything. So I've got to call her tomorrow and see about that. So make sure everything's still on track for that. Sally's got to check it out. It needs the Sally stamp of approval. Sally, why are you smelling the new truck? Why are you smelling up the new truck? Does it smell different than the old one? Yeah, probably. So anyways, little Sally's got to do her smell test on it. And anyways, that's it, guys. Just a little different color stand-up sleeper, and little bit lighter than this one right here. So, you know, like I mentioned earlier, with the tri-pack, which has an inverter, bunk heater, and the generator unit there on the side of the truck, and the extra heater hoses and everything, and the extra fuel capacity, this truck, this copper colored one here, is 300 pounds lighter than the red one. So that's good. That's awesome. I'm hoping here in about 8 or 9, maybe 10 months, depending on how all this stuff goes with this one, hoping to buy another one, and it'll be, you know, similarly spec'd to this one. Probably won't be the same color. In fact, if I can help it, it will not be the same color. I don't want the same color trucks. I want them all to be, you know, a little different from one another. Not a real big fan of the fleet, you know, the whole fleet model where every truck's the same color and looks the same and all that stuff. I do like having the 389 fleet, where every truck is the same, you know, body of truck, but I want the bodies to look different, you know, kind of like Western. All their trucks are the same color. See, I wouldn't even go that far. All their trucks are different, but they're all the same color. But you know, hopefully my next one will be some other color. Maybe a white one or a blue one or a black one or something, but kind of depends on what they got in stock up there, if anything, whenever I go to buy my buy my third one. If I do buy my third one, which I'm planning on right now, but you know, this is my first time running 2 trucks, so we'll see how this goes. I might get 2 and just be like, you know, 2's enough. But I'm kind of an eager beaver, so I'm probably not going to stop at 2. So I would like to buy another one here in about 9 or 10 months, like I said, and I'm hoping to have a different color, maybe a black one or a white one or blue one or yellow one or something. Heck, I'd really even like to have one with stripes on it. That'd be real cool. But I do like that this one has the smaller stand-up sleeper, like out of the 90s, the 63-inch stand-up instead of the big, well, they call it a 72 now, but the big one that's got the windows in the side of it, what is that, in a 74 or 78, or I don't know what they call it. But I tried to buy another truck back in January, and it was one of those kinds with the big sleeper on the back, and it was actually a shorter wheelbase than this one. It's 265, so it's 5 inches shorter than this one, but it had a bigger sleeper. Had that great big old stand-up sleeper with the windows in the back of it. And anyways, that one just didn't work out, so we ended up with this one, and I like this one better, to be honest with you. I like the looks of it a lot better. I like the color better. It's very kind of 1990s-esque in my opinion, with the wheelbase and the stand-ups, the smaller stand-up sleeper. You know, it's kind of a 90s truck. I've got a friend over in Portales, New Mexico, that he's kind of got the older version of this truck. It's an 05 model, but same color, same sleeper configuration, all that stuff. His has the American class interior, which that's not, you know, what it's called anymore. But that was the high level interior back in those days. Now it's called platinum or whatever. I think in Canada they had the Canadian class, but either way, that's the deal, guys. Same mirror setup, all that stuff, even same size pipes up top as far as circumference goes. Obviously not the same length because I cut mine down. These will be getting cut down too. We got to take I'm only going to take 12 inches off of these pipes, and that'll lower me down to 11'9", and which will be plenty. That'll be 3 inches shorter than it needs to be, and then that'll still leave me some room to get up over my sleeper with the stack, you know, so it's not going to be cut like flush with the sleeper. Because let me show y'all just real quick, bear with me. If you can see how on that stand up it kind of crowns towards the back there, you can see it kind of ramps up there on the outer edge. I wanted to be sure that I was taller than the very back of the sleeper, which is the high part, the high point of the sleeper. So that's one reason why I'm only going to come a foot off of those stacks instead of a full, what would I need? 15 inches to match these stacks, which those stacks would, I think, would clear it, but I think it'll just look a little bit better if they're just a touch longer. You know, 3 inches ain't gonna make a whole lot of a difference when you're on the ground looking up at them, but I think it'll be a little bit a little bit more of an attractive look. So that's the plan with that. Come on, little Sally, let's go put the hood down. Okay, good. We already got our safety latch flipped over. So set the hood back down and we'll let y'all look at both of them next to one another. Boy, could have been a little gentler with that. I'm used to my truck's got the socks up there, so you got to set it down then kind of shove on it. But I forgot this one's still got the grease on it, so it's real smooth. You don't have to work at it at all. So either way, all right, get the hood latch on there, good to go. Did we lock the door? We did not. Let's lock the door. Okay, so the air's leaked out of my red truck. I've been sitting here about a week. So the red truck seems to have a lower stance, but whenever you air them up, they'll be about the same. But I wish the stand-up set as low as the red truck. I think that looks better, sitting lower to the ground. I'm planning on the truck that I replace this one with for my replacement truck, the one that I'll be driving. I'm hoping to actually custom spec one and get a car hauler front axle, get a whole car hauler setup. So I'll have a Matchroom battery box over here on the passenger side instead of the DPF box, fake stacks. I want to put flex air suspension on instead of low air leaf, and a stationary fifth wheel with that small plate. That way I can get the weight down but still keep the long wheelbase and the big engine and all that stuff, and then that way I can carry an APU on that truck. Because I conducted a little experiment last night on this one. I come over here about 2 in the afternoon and turned on the APU and the air conditioner and closed up the sleeper curtains and left, and then I checked it about midnight, and man, you could hang meat in that doggone thing. It'd have probably been cold enough to wake you up. I didn't sit in it for very long, so you know how, like, if you walk in from a restaurant, say on a real hot day outside, you've been working outside or whatever, and at first it's like, oh my gosh, it's so refreshing how cold it is. And then after about 20 minutes, when you finally get cooled off, you're like, okay, it's freezing. I should have brought a jacket. That's kind of how it was whenever I went in there. I didn't stay in there 20 minutes. I just went in there, cut everything off, and opened up a sleeper curtain. So I didn't open them up, unzipped them, and climbed back out of the truck. But yeah, so this one right here, I think, is a little bit more of like an OTR suitable spec for most people, because, you know, it's got the stand-up sleeper. I know that's important to a lot of people to be able to stand up and get dressed. It's got an ice box in it, got an APU on it, inverter, bunk heater, all that jazz. So this is going to be a little more of a creature comfort truck, I guess, you know, as far as the traditional understanding of creature comforts is concerned. My personal preference is still the flat top with the cool guy, you know, the cool guy bumper and the cool guy, even though I'd have a different visor if it was my choice, but the cool guy visor, all that stuff, you know, I prefer the cool truck, you know. And my next truck I spec, it's going to be a flat top just like this one. I might get a Iowa Customs fridge in it or something to go in one of those closets, but I don't know, probably not. I kind of like having 2 closets. So anyway, so that's the deal. that's the new truck. That's the big news. 2021 389, brand new from Tulsa. Rush Peterbilt up there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Beautiful truck in my opinion. I think it's classy as hell. I think this thing's just freaking, no wonder Peterbilt's slogan is class pays. Look at this thing. That's like a hot woman at a cocktail party. Classy. So anyways, heck, I don't even want to stop talking about it. I just want to keep on walking around it and staring at it, telling y'all about it. It does need to be washed. They weren't able to wash it for me whenever I went and picked it up because the washers leave in the mornings, or they don't wash them in the evenings, I guess. And they really weren't even done with it. So I guess I might have had to wait till Monday to wash it. But so far, all we got left to do is get the signs put on the truck, go down to Waco, get the darn thing registered, because in Texas you can't just buy an apportion tag at every every tag office. You got to go to specific ones. There's like a little regions where you got to go. So I got to go to Waco. I go to Waco, Abilene, or Fort Worth. I choose Waco because I got a friend that lives down there. So usually it's the car hauler guy I was telling y'all about. Usually sometimes me and him will go eat lunch and shoot the breeze or whatever, and run around. Waco's kind of a nice town in my opinion. But anyways, we'll go run around, look at stuff. He'll point things out to me and tell me the same stories over and over again, as I'm sure I do with him. But anyways, so I go to Waco. I might be forced to go somewhere else because they were saying something on the internet about how you got to make an appointment. So I might have to go to a different office, and if that's the case, then I'll just do that. But anyways, window in the back, just like this one. I do like the window in the back. I think that looks good. I really do. I've already got my little words picked out for the window in the back. See, I put almost cool on my red truck here, and that's kind of a jab at my truck. It's kind of like jokingly saying that my truck's not very cool, even though, you know, I think it's like the most awesomest truck in the whole wide world. But so the story behind that is my buddy, I was telling my buddy about me buying a new truck, and he was kind of skeptical about it at first, as most people are with new trucks. Well, he ended up having a lot of trouble out of his truck. Look at that big freaking grease spot right there. Oh boy, that's aggravating me. I had some grease laying off my fifth wheel. I cleaned it all up with a putty knife and put it up here on top. But anyways, in Idaho, a real bad windstorm coming knocked it over on here. Matter of fact, it's on some of my old videos in this GoPro, but I'm gonna delete them. Anyways, and this is my best job at wiping it up without smearing it. So he went and bought his truck, and it was blue, and the frame's painted, and it's 300-inch wheelbase instead of a 280, so that's a little cooler. He's got more roof lights than me, so that's a little cooler. He ran his airlines out the back, so that's a little cooler. Of course, that was before I put my sign up there, so I came up with almost cool, because his truck's cool and mine's almost cool. So this truck, I'm gonna put losing time back there, LOSIN apostrophe TIME. And the reason for that is because this truck's got the big old 565 2050 big boy motor, and this one is just the 500 horse efficiency series 1850 torque. So you know, the joke is that the copper colored one's going to be losing time trying to stay up with old Raggedy Ann here. So oh, and the name for this one's Pretty Penny, because I paid way more for it than I should have, because new trucks are expensive. Not to say I didn't get a good deal, guys. It's just a joke. I got a good deal. But, you know, so it's Pretty Penny. So it's the color of a penny. It's pretty. It costs, in my opinion, a bunch of money. Some people might not think so, but I'm poor, so they cost a lot of money. And then this one's Raggedy Ann, because it's red. And I love it. So, anyway, so that's the deal with this one. Just a little bit less loaded down interior. Smaller wheels, smaller tires, but that, you know, that all translates into weight savings and money savings. So, you know, as far as aesthetics are concerned, I do prefer the Low Pro 24, but you know, this one right here with the Low Pro 22s, well, Low Pro 22s are going to run me cheaper for replacement cost. I mean, they weigh less, so maybe they're a little easier to turn, so maybe I get a little better fuel mileage. I'm sure that would not even bear itself out on an IFTA report. Like, you would need to study a fleet of 500 trucks to see any real substantial difference in fuel savings from a 24 to a 22. I don't know, but there are some advantages to having 22s. I would personally prefer 24 low pros, but I'll take, you know, I'm not objected to having 22s. These look fine. They look hunky-dory. They don't detract from the way the truck looks at all, in my opinion. I mean, that front fender well isn't quite as filled up as good as it would be with a low pro 24. But see, mine ain't filled up very good when it's got air in the front bags either. It only looks like it's filled up good because the deadgum truck's sitting down on the, it's got the springs set mashed out because the bags are let down because the air leaked out over the course of the past few days. So anyways, red one's filthy, copper colored one's kind of filthy. Neither one of them are really show ready. I wouldn't really get out of the truck and go strutting off from either one of them, just how they look right now. I'd sure like to do some wiping on them. But I've been thinking about bobtailing them up to Weatherford and getting them washed, but looky here. Just clouds, 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 and boy, it is unseasonably humid. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that I ain't gonna get out of here without these trucks getting rained on. So we're gonna hold off on washing them and just kind of let them sit here. You can't really see my house from the road anyways. So we'll get her all lettered up. I'll be sure and do another video on that, hopefully when I get it lettered up, get the stacks cut off so y'all can see what the finished product looks like and everything whenever it's actually ready to go out on the road. But it probably ain't gonna be working until about the first week of August. So we still have a ways yet until that day comes. So sorry I've been rambling. I know I've been rambling. I'm just excited. I'm super duper happy because I own another truck now, and I've been trying to get a second truck going ever since about the first month I bought my very first truck way long time ago. And I never could get it done because I was running old trucks and I never made a freaking nickel. So, but I bought this new truck and that changed things. I was able to put down money, put back money, and save up enough money to put a good down payment on this one. I did not put a very good down payment on this one. I mean, I put good enough to get it off a lot, but in my opinion, it wasn't very good. I was able to put a good one on this one and cover the APU and all the extras I wanted and still get it off the lot for a pretty reasonable payment. And and I'm super happy that, you know, I've ran pretty much old junkers all my life, you know, and now here I have these two fancy pants Peterbilts. So I'm pretty happy about that, pretty excited about it. And been a long road to hoe to get here, but hopefully we got two trucks going now, so maybe we'll be a little bit more profitable over time. Of course, over the miles the profit's going to go down. Obviously I can get into that some other time, but anyways, profit over time ought to increase. So I should have an easier time saving up for and purchasing truck number 3 than I did have saving up for and purchasing truck number 2 and truck number 1. So the idea behind this truck is hopefully every day I ought to make a little bit of money. So except for the odd days where we're both on restarts or we're both at the house, but you know, most days I should be making money. If I'm on home time, maybe he'll be on the road. If he's on home time, maybe I'm on the road, something like that, you know. So the company should stay, you know, a little bit more profitable is the idea. And also with this one, if I have a bad week, maybe he'll have a good week, and that'll kind of up my, it'll kind of average out my bad week. Of course, I'd have to really get into the numbers and dissect a good week and dissect a bad week, and then pretend like I had the bad one and he had the good one, or he had the bad one and I had the good one, to really see what the numbers would dictate. But the numbers I ran on this truck were just the numbers I had on that truck minus his pay, and that's how I knew that this truck would be profitable, even though this truck's going to have a lower cost of operation than this one, excluding the driver pay. Obviously, I'm just talking about the truck itself. It's got a lower payment, it ought to get better fuel mileage, ought to have cheaper tire cost. So it's going to have a little bit lower, I'm going to say about $800 a month cheaper to run this one than the red one. So, and most of that's in the payment. We'll see what happens with the fuel. But I will definitely be making a video about this one on the fuel mileage, because we got the Performance Series engine in this one and the Efficiency Series in the stand-up. So, excuse me. It'll be interesting to find out, and I'm excited. Anyway, so sorry for the delay, guys. Sorry I ain't been on here as much as I should, but what I've been doing is I've been being a busy little bee and keeping my nose to the grindstone and trying to make as much money as possible in order to save up for this truck here. So finally got it saved up for and finally got it bought and got the money to cash flow both of them and everything. So we're good. Now all we got to do is get back to work in a reasonable amount of time because having 2 trucks parked is a whole lot more expensive than having 1 truck parked. So, oh boy. Anyways, that's it, guys. Hopefully y'all will be hearing more out of me here before too long, but don't want to make any promises, but I'm hoping. Gosh almighty, I already need to mow again. I need to weed eat. I didn't weed eat last time. I was just being lazy. I just got on my mower and zip, 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 zip. And that was it. Didn't do anything. Hell, last time the grass was all dust. It wasn't green, but we've been getting some rain. So either way, that's the deal. So anywho, I'm sorry, guys. I can just keep on walking around here and talking about these trucks for freaking 20 freaking years. I hope that's what heaven's like whenever I die. I hope I just get to walk around and look at Peterbilts and talk to other people about Peterbilts, and that'd be cool. Doubt that's gonna happen though. What if Jesus is a Kenworth man? Or even worse, Freightliner?